And it is Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends Pregame, the Baylor Bears style. Get yourselves ready, Mountaineer Nation. Let's get up. Let's cheer on the Mountaineers. You got your legends here. You got Tim Kearney, Darryl, Prue. You got El Managero, El Guru. That's right, Jim Smallridge. We are on fire tonight. We are ready.
Destined for greatness, my name is written in stars, and I will give everything, all that I have to the cause. Fight against evil, run through the pain, battle it all, this is more than a game. I am a lion and I can't be tamed, it's how it was made, there's ice in my veins, run through it all. No matter the odds, I will answer a call, the enemy knocks on the door. Even the greatest among us will fall, but the greatest will get back up. So I won't back down, and I won't give up, and I will act now, and I will stand up. They know that I'm here for it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Parmar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Parmar Stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Parmar Stores, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wilson Martino Dental. Did you know that 95% of our dentists have graduated from WVU? And many former players and WVU coaches trust Wilson Martino Dental with their oral health. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that.
And yes, we do that at Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends, the pregame. Yeah, the Baylor Bears, man. I don't care about the Texas game. That's dead and past. Now, we're going to talk about it, bring it up, but I want you to get fired up, Mountaineer Nation. This is a lot going on. The fellas are going to be out there. They're going to battle. They better battle. Their backs against the wall. They're at the end of this ridiculous trip of 11 Iowa State, got 5 Texas, and now 14 the Baylor Bears. So let's get up. It's a late game tonight. Hopefully the Mountaineers are going to get up and roll, and we are going to roll with the Legends, and the Legends being Tim Kearney. Tim, how you doing tonight?
Like I said before, I woke up this morning, so I'm doing all right.
All right, so you're on this side of the bed, man. I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I'm on the green side.
You're on the green side. That's excellent. And of course, Darryl, Prue, DP, how we doing, brother?
I'm good, big fella. How you doing, big deal?
Oh, my gosh. You see his team, WolfMan. We're going to be talking a little bit about that, but we got the Special Olympics West Virginia polar plunge coming up. And, of course, we got El Guru, El General Manager, and that'll be Jimmy Smallridge. Jimmy, I was calling him Jimmy Smalligan because I was thinking of Jamie Smalligan. I had him on my mind. So, again, you are not Jimmy, but you are Jimmy Smallridge. And you were there, of course, with Tim Kearney, and you have all the stories. Last show we had Phil Collins on and talking stories, talking smack. And I guess you'll probably have a story or two, but maybe, just maybe, Kearney will have a story on you. So you better watch out, and you better hope your family's not watching because he doesn't usually tell the clean ones. Okay, so let's get at it. Let's get right at it, and let's go. DP, I got this for you, man. You wanted to go ahead, and you wanted to see right off the bat, how do you set the tone? And I think you set the tone this way. And let's get this up here, and let's take a look and watch it as I maneuver the show up here. Here we go. Look at it right here at the tip-off. Here's the tip-off. Go ahead.
I mean, just the play right here. I don't think Matthews went after the ball. You know, he gave it a fake effort after it was on the ground. Look, he just falls down. He could have went after the ball the first time. You know, it's about wanting, get the ball first, show him I'm gonna be aggressive, and you set the tone for the rest of the guys. And he didn't. And, you know, it just set the tone for the rest of the game.
So you think that Disu right there, right off the bat, the tone was set bad because he did not go after it and get after it in a physical way.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the tone that's been set almost all year, honestly. If it's not at home, you know, if he was at home, would he have gone the ball harder? I mean, like, you're away. Those little small things when you're on a road, you have to maximize every little effort to win those games, and that's what we didn't do.
All right. TK, go ahead and give me what you saw right there and what you think.
No, I agree with Darryl. I mean, 100%. I mean, turnovers killed us. I mean, 20 turnovers, and we lose 32 points off turnovers. Fast break points, my gosh. I mean, we have 7 fast break points. They've got 23. It just, to me, it looked like they didn't want to come out and play. They were just flat. I mean, as far as field goal percentages, was outstanding as far as between West Virginia and Texas. I mean, we couldn't. I think in the second half, I think we were like 20% from field goal percentage or something like that. I mean, it was ridiculous.
It wasn't good. There's no doubt about it. It wasn't good. And Jim, when you look at that and you see it here, and welcome to the show. This is your first time on, and we'll love having it because before we even get into it, brother, as managers and players are one as one, and not only are managers so much. Or they want to help the guys in the team, but you're learning to be a coach yourself. You're learning the game, and that's what you do when you can't play at a level because you were 5'8", 5'9", if I remember right.
Okay, on a good day.
Yeah, you are not going out on that Coliseum court unless you're picking up a towel, brother. At least during game time, and that's okay.
Well, Dale, he kept us out of jail, so he's.
I tell you what. The managers, I still got friends to this day that are lifelong friends because they're all part of the team, and I know you're one of them, Jimmy. So welcome to the show, and give us your shot on what you saw because the tone setting right off the bat is right there, and kind of not a great effort.
Well, I mean, and thank you, Wolf. Thanks for letting me be on here. And you're right. We do learn the game because we can't play the game. And I went on. I got to officiate for a few years, and then I actually coached for quite a few years as well. So, but thank you for allowing me to be on with you.
Absolutely.
Prue's exactly right. The right from the jump ball, and then our first possession we fall away. So I mean that set the tone. Tim said 20 turnovers. It's hard to win with 20 turnovers. I mean, even if you shoot the ball great and you're giving them points, it isn't going to work.
It's funny. It brings up a question then. Is this a team of problem? Texas? Is this a bad matchup for the Mountaineers? That I'll go with you, Jimmy, first. It's a bad matchup because there's been 20 turnovers for the 2 games against Texas. So they've been pretty much that way for both times they played them this year.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I don't know why they're not answering the call. I mean that, and you can, and we kind of mentioned this earlier when we were just kibitzing around, but you're throwing the ball away, but even when you can look when we're not shooting well, it's because we don't pass well. So the passing is where that starts. It's the key to everything. If you can't pass the ball, you can't score the ball, and that it comes out. And when it comes out loud and clear.
Excellent. Okay, great point. DP, what about you, man? You're seeing this. We still have all this, but what's your thought on it, man? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a couple things, and Jim hit on it about the passing. We talked about playmakers. There's no playmakers. Every pass is not a good pass. And so guys making passes, and You know, it's always off kilter. It's too low, too far to reach. It's too soft. It's too many tools to it, but it's not on. It's not on target. You know, and that's have a lot to do with it. And I think, you know, I look at the roster: senior, and all these seniors have got 20 turnovers. It's not the first time they got 20 turnovers. It's like almost been a habit to have 20 turnovers. And, you know, then we have a few games when we don't. When we win, then we have a team that's talented, and all of a sudden we turn the ball over again. Texas is a pretty talented team, and we go on the road. You can get away with it at home sometimes, and you can make runs and things that you have the crowd having your back, but down there you got to be a ball player. There's no gimmicks to it, and I think it caught back up with us again.
All right, so Tim, tell me then, is Texas a bad matchup for the Mountaineers, or is it just two games where they played poorly?
Well, Darryl and also Jim said, I mean, the turnovers. I mean, I'm not gonna say names, but they were passing to invisible people that they were just throwing it out of bounds, and we need to correct that. I mean, the big thing that scares me about coming up with Baylor is they've got some strong guards, and we got to step up to that. But we can't have mistakes and turnovers we had against Texas.
Okay. Well, with that being said, a great point. And let's listen to the Bear post game, Texas Longhorn style.
Shots. They made shots. We turned the ball over. We didn't make shots. I don't think we were prepared for the physicality. We hadn't seen that all year. I think that bothered us.
Yeah, I think it did. And DP, why did it bother us? I mean, the Big 12 has been physical the entire time. We know that Iowa State was physical. We know that this whole schedule has been physical. What was it about Saturday that they just didn't wake up? They didn't wake up at the greener side, like Tim said, or what?
I mean, I thought there was more games that was much more physical than that, and we won. And so it's, I don't know what he meant by that statement. I would say this, sometimes we look to, those Saturday and Monday games. We look ahead to the next game. Maybe it wasn't all the way there. Maybe it's all right, we're just going to get through this game and save it all for Monday. I don't know, but that's how they looked like they played. Like there was no energy. There was nobody, providing any spark and no energy. Matthews came out, he was a little bit more aggressive on offense after having a good game the other day. So that was a good sign. But then other people, they're just the small things, he don't jump at the ball at the beginning of the game. And, so we're going to see other things later on in the podcast that you'll see why you lose or all those small things.
No, I agree with Darryl. I mean, as far as from the Big 12 side of it, every game's going to be physical. You know that. So to blame it on the physicality, as Hugs put it, to me, that's bullshit. I mean, seriously, every game's going to be physical within the Big 12. All right. Whether they woke up or not. And like I said, I don't know what else to say about it. It really is. I mean, we shot poorly. We turned the ball over too many times. 32 points on 20 turnovers. Come on, guys. You're going to lose a game.
Well,
and Wolf, I'll go back to your original question about matchup with Texas. The problem wasn't matchup with Texas. Okay, that was your original question. The matchup was not what killed us. We just didn't play.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, I would go ahead and go with that, but let's then listen here now to Hugs. And I will say this one thing. We came out of last Saturday out of this pregame, and we were pretty fired up because the Mountaineers have been putting it together. They were on a streak of winning. Now they've won 4 of their last 6, but then it was 4 out of 5. And we had some high hopes. And I think that is really what hurts and left everybody so down was that it was just the exact opposite of the feeling of the high hopes. It wasn't just a loss. It wasn't even a contender loss. It was a blowout. The guys didn't even look like they belonged on the same court. I think that's what the most disappointing was to Mountaineer Nation. But let's go ahead. Go ahead, Tim. All right.
It was an embarrassment. That's how I felt about it. It really was. We got our ass kicked. I'm going to say it. We got our ass kicked.
All right. Well, I mean, go ahead. You said it, but let's listen to Hugs. Now, there is a light at the end of the tunnel right now that we're hoping for. So let's hear what the Bear has to say.
Win a couple more games. You know, I think with the wins that we have, because we've got out of conference wins too. Big out of conference wins, so we'll be all right. And then we get a chance again in the tournament, so in Kansas City.
All right, now you see right here. Go ahead and look at this schedule. Where are these wins coming from when you see this, Darryl Prue? No, I'm being serious now. I want you to take a look at this and say, hey, you know, what games do we for number one is what do we have at home? We got Texas Tech at home, right? So I mean, there's things here we have to do to go ahead and win this. We got Kansas State at home. You know, we got Kansas at home. I mean, again, I think we got Iowa State at home too, right? So we need a couple more wins. What's the number?
So how many wins we have now, Dale? We got what? 16?
Well, now we have 15 wins for Big 12. We're 4-8 to Big 12.
Right. So, I said we had to split this weekend. We had to split between Saturday's game and today's game. We have to win tonight. I think we have to win tonight. Or we got to win the next 3 out of the next 5.
Okay.
Just to have a
good.
chance going into the tournament. Just have a chance of going into the tournament.
Now remember this, okay? So what Hugs is saying is, you know, he's got a resume too, and the resume is the numbers, the strength, because everybody seems to have these numbers. And I'm going to go to you, Tim Kearney, and I'm going to say is, you know, they just played number 11 on last Wednesday, number 5 on Saturday. Now it's 14. That's a heck of a game. The Mountaineers have won 4 of the last 6 and recorded 3 top 15 wins in a span of 21 days. That is not to be sneezed at.
Now, and I'm with Darryl. I mean, we have to at least win 1 game on the road, and the 3 games at home we got to win to get us into the tournament. That's my feeling.
You know, okay. What about you, Jimmy? Let's go. Let's go right down to. Let's hear
Okay. You got 3 on the road, 3 at home. You've got 4 conference wins, and let's face it. I mean, the computer loves us. The computer loves us. You know, the out-of-conference wins do look great. I don't think you're getting into the tournament. I don't think you're going to get into the NCAA tournament with it's going to be a heavy pull no matter what you do in the Big 12 tournament. It's going to be hard to get into the dance if you go in there with 7 conference wins and you're lopsided on in your conference wins during the regular season. I think it's going to be a heavy lift. I think you've got to finish 500. You've got to finish 500. So we've got to get, in my opinion, going into the Big 12 tournament, we got to find 4 wins. That I don't care where you get them. I don't care where you get them. You got to get 4 wins.
That's what I was saying. I mean, 1 on the road and 4 at home. You know, or 3 at home. You get 4 wins.
You can get them however you want to. Get them however you want to.
Yeah.
You can go 3 on the road and get 1 at home. I don't care. Yeah. But I don't think you get into the dance with a conference record of only 7 wins.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to say this. I'm saying I think you can. And because of what the schedule is, this brutal schedule that the Mountaineers have gone through, they're ranked the number 3 toughest schedule in the country. How many teams are there in DP in Division 1? How many teams in Division 1, Darryl?
What?
Was it 300 something? Yeah, right?
Yeah, 370.
Okay, they got the 3rd toughest schedule. Okay, now I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying is what do I think that people are seeing? What is the perception? It's all about perception now. I mean, if you get in there, it's about perception. And we better hope the perception is that the numbers are really good for the Mountaineers.
But they got to win. I mean, like, you know,
you
start off 0-6. You know what I mean? You still had a tougher schedule but you lose all 6 games, so that doesn't help. You win 2 or 3 of those games, now you look better. I still think with 7 wins you get in. I think the whole Big East had a couple of teams that was under 500 that still got in the tournament, but you can't lose by 30. You can't.
Well, what happened Saturday can't happen again.
Yeah,
let's just put that out straight.
Yeah, because that bad loss will go on that board for the NC when they start talking about things. We got to get a couple more wins. So we got Texas Tech. We got Iowa State. We got Kansas. If we beat Kansas and Iowa State at home, we looking pretty decent.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you too, Prue, is that the out of conference win against Pitt. Pitt is putting it together now. That makes that look a whole lot better.
Well, heck, Auburn sure as heck does that as well. I mean, that's
exactly
that's tough.
Exactly.
That's tough out of conference, and that they went ahead and they did. UAB's playing pretty good. I mean, there's some teams that they actually had to play hard and good against some good teams out of conference, which will only help this team down the road here. And it's truly a testament in my eyes that they could go that good out of conference and then get beat up. But hey, you know what happens, man? When you get beat up and you start going round robin, you don't get a breather. You can't come up for air. And that's the hard thing. So remember that. But here, let's get right to it, DP. Let's talk about it, man. Here's what's good the Mountaineers did. And there's not a lot of these plays. So take a look. Marcus Evan Matthews started off his 13 points, 12 in the first half. He was looking sharp. He has been shooting better. What do you say, brother?
I just think he's looking to rim more. I think before he was passing up those shots. Wasn't really if he really wasn't open on the catch and shoot, he would just pass it up. But now he's letting that thing go a little bit, and he's feeling a little confident about it, and just hope he stays that way. He just you can't fade away. You can't start off that way, then all of a sudden you just stop. You got to keep going. You just got to keep being aggressive. Yeah, he was looking. He was ready to shoot every time he caught the ball. He was ready to shoot. Coming off, ready to shoot.
Yeah, okay, excuse me, but Timmy, what do you say about you got Kearney right there. He did 40 minutes the game before. He's playing all the time. Last week, Hug said he was beat up. I mean, this guy, I think he needs a breather.
Yeah, well, like I said, and talk about what Darryl was saying as well. I think Matthews is finally somehow he got pissed off about people beating him up, so he's got a hard head. Which, hell, when I played basketball, if someone pissed me off, I would go after it. But
not you.
Yeah, me. But,
all right.
But as far as the guard, and I'm still going to say again tonight, the biggest thing as far as Desant and Wilson. I mean, with the guards they've got, as far as the Baylor, those guys have to come off the bench and be strong. And we have to have some strong play off the bench. We haven't had it in the last couple of games.
That's true. Well, let's go ahead, guys. We got some young bucks that got a chance to play. And let's take a look at what you saw from them. And go ahead, Jim. I'm going to give you a shot here to go ahead and watch the film here. But we have some young guys. You got Okonkwo, I'm sorry, excuse me. You got Subanek, and you got Harris, right? So go ahead.
I'm a huge James Okonkwo fan. I mean, I think that he's young. What is he? 17, 18 years old. Yep. He's got great feet. He's got great feet from where he played tennis, and he goes after the ball at the rim like we used to see Sags go at it. So I think that he's the young bucks. I think he's the one.
DP, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about him all year, his energy and stuff like that. I couldn't see who that was that shot the jumper from the corner, but like those guys should have played earlier. You can't wait till now, and you're down 30 and stuff like that. The guys jumping out there. I don't think that's a relevant time. But Okonkwo, he's been doing this all year. He's gotten better and better and better. Than them other guys just needed more opportunity that can get better. But that's what the challenge of having, somebody to make Matthews and Mitchell accountable. And, it looks like, he gets right here. This kid's making shots. We down 40. You know what I mean? So does it look good if it's down 40 or, do it look good when it scores time? So it's kind of hard to gauge. I think these guys should have got more time during the year. But it was hard because everybody was struggling. It was trying to get some rhythm. So.
Right. Let me ask you this, Tim. Kako, did he get enough minutes last game? Because he was out. I'm not sure if he got in foul trouble or not. I'm trying to remember. He had 2 in the first half for sure. But he should have got more minutes, in my opinion, watching what I saw with Trey Mitchell.
No, I agree with that. But at the same time, with Bell, the way he's been playing, what are you going to do? You got to fill in for Bell. If he's not playing up to what we need, then you got to have these guys come in.
But see, that's the thing. He's up and down, and that's like the team. Is one night he's got a double-double, or he's got 10 boards, and the next night, he's got 4 boards. I mean, it's the problem with this. It's hard for Bob Huggins to gauge because he can't get consistency. And this last trip that we had, the last streak we had, was the closest we had to any kind of type of consistency since being out of conference.
I'll tell you what, if Bell doesn't, start off in the first 4 minutes doing something, pull his ass out and get somebody else in there. I'm sorry. That's the way it is.
Let's go. Jimmy, go ahead. Take your shot. All right, you there?
You're on mute, Jim.
That's your mic on.
Yeah, sorry. I was coughing. I didn't want to share that with you. I think
Thank you.
that you've got 3 guys that are playing at the big. I mean, you can think of it as 15 fouls. You can think of it as points. But you've got to get the one in there with the hot hand. You've got to get the one, whoever's playing, get them in there and play. If they're not playing, rotate them out. Do whatever you have to do. But you've got 3 bigs, and if you're playing, whoever's hot, keep them playing. If they get in foul trouble, rotate them in. I really think you think of that group as not 5, 5, and 5 fouls. You think of 15 fouls. That's what I got down low. And
I agree with you. I agree.
When it comes to points, you get them where you can get them.
DP, let me ask you, man. All right, this is something that I don't like to go negative too much, but Trey Mitchell's a senior, and this is his team. Texas was for at least a year, and again, I would have more energy trying to go against my old buddies. I think than just proving I could do good. I guess for lack of, I'm trying to be real soft here. Okay, I'm trying to be soft, but the bottom line is I'd go out and I'd bust my hump against an old team to show that I'm still the guy, and I left because I left on my own terms.
He don't play mad, everything he falls down as much as anybody I've ever seen play. Every game he's falling down 2 or 3 times a game, and you're right. Like, even the home game, like even when Bridges came to West Virginia, he didn't have a great game, but he had a really good game. Mitchell just fades away. And they attacked him. They went at him every time they could on the offensive end and the defensive end. When he got the ball, they took the ball from him. They just scored on it. They got physical with him. And so they knew all his weaknesses, and they exploited it that game.
Yeah, they sure did. And
when
let's go
was the
ahead
last
here.
time that Trey was effective? I mean, he hasn't been a major factor in a game in quite a while. It wasn't just Texas.
He can't score over 15 points. He can't get past that.
Well, yeah, he scored 16 a couple of times, but your point is you're saying that he's got the talent to do 21, 22. He's got the talent to consistently at least do 20, and that's what your disappointment has been all year.
Yeah, because he can score inside and out. You know what I mean? So it's not like, but the thing he doesn't drive it and get to the rim. So he's either posting up or shooting a 3. So now he's not even posting up no more. So guys now are being physical with him. So now he can't even get to the paint because he's not bending his knees. He's not getting low. He's getting knocked down. He's getting knocked off the box. So, and he caves into the contact.
I mean, when was the last time you saw him make a move from the high post to the low post?
Now, guys, I mean, all the starting five, they all have the capability of scoring more than 20 points a game. All of them do. They have that talent.
They have the talent to do it one time, but I don't think they can do it consistently.
Yeah, well, that's the
problem. That's
Darryl,
the problem. We're playing against guys that can do it. We're playing against other teams that have those kind of guys.
Yeah.
We're hoping and wishing. That's why they go to 5 different schools. We're playing against guys as freshmen and sophomores that's getting almost 20 points a game because that's their talent level. And that's what, sometimes we misplace that because we think we got older guys. They're going to do this and do that, but they never done it nowhere else.
Okay. All right. So listen, we'll go ahead to finish up quickly. Please.
It's all about them gelling together. Like I said, we've got 8, 9 guys to the transfer portal. They just need to come together. And
we've been gelling all year, and they gelled in that streak. And in this game, it just comes down to talent.
Yeah, they've got a game or two to gel, and after that, if they don't, then we're screwed. Okay.
All right. Very well said. And this, DP, is what you wanted. These are the clips you asked me to pull, and I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about it, let you guys quickly talk behind, and then we're going to move on to the Baylor Bears, and we're going to be positive, but this is your shot. This is how did the Mountaineers get better watching this right here.
So we're on the defensive end. Watch this. That's good. Everything's good. All right, right here. This is what I have a problem with. You see Mitchell fall down? Watch this. So they switch. First of all, it's bad defense because Bell don't see what's going on. Now he see what's going on. Now he has to close out. He closed out too hard. He went for the soft pump fake, and nobody rotates over. Everybody's watching. There's no jumping to the ball on the offside. Again, here we go. He gets it. Somebody's going to fall asleep. Look at Stevenson. He played the play. He's on the top side. You have to be between your man and the basket. He was on the top side. And
got to see both.
Right. He played the play. His back is to the ball. That's just a basketball play from the guy from Texas. And the bad defensive principle from Stevenson. Again, we get on the side of a guy. Stevenson can't get on the side. He goes under the screens. Then he don't get back in front. He's on the side. Now Bell has to help, and he has to foul his man because he helped. Again, Stevenson goes under 4 screens, honestly, because there's 4 people over there. Look at that. It goes under. His man pops back. These guys are darn near pros. So you can't. This is not middle school basketball. Look at that. He cheated the play again. This looked like a Matthews tape from the beginning of the year. He goes under all these screens. Then he tries to get help. And it's too late. So we could say, yeah, he should have stayed down. They talking about you should have stayed down, but it starts with the penetration. Just bad defense. Talk. Somebody's not guarding nobody. There was no urgency on defense. None.
That was weak right there.
Yeah, none. We could say he ain't boxed out, but he don't get back on defense. Watch this. Don't get back on defense. Don't get back on defense. Let's look at this. We have 3 guys. They have 3 guys. Look at our last 2 guys. They jogging back.
Now, in defense, right there. No, hang on. In defense, that was the youngins right there. Okay, that was the
even more reason to run back hard so you can play the next.
I would have taken all 5 out of the game.
Well, Hugs might be doing that soon. All right, this is that time where I gotta do. It's the time for our support. That is our people that sponsor this show, Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends, and we're gonna start off with Parmar Stores. They're in 5 different states. There's over 200 Parmar stores. Man, I'll tell you what. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be one soon. And I can prove it because they just keep adding them and adding them and adding them, and they're crushing. Right by you, Jimmy, down on McCorkle Avenue. They got a brand new one coming up, putting in the...
I just saw it yesterday.
Well, you make sure you stop by and get a pepperoni roll for Tim right up here.
Don't on damn pepperoni rolls, Dale.
Hey, Tim Kearney wants a pepperoni roll. Yeah. I think Parmar Stores has to get it for them as well. Okay, next one. Dan Cava, Toyota World. Shock the world! Because Danny Cava is the man, and your Toyota dealer in Fairmont, West Virginia. He's like the best dealer in the state of West Virginia. Yeah, I love you other guys too, but we love Danny because he's the man. And of course, we got Wilson Martino Dental. They're big supporters of WVU. And yes, man, most of them all graduated from WVU. They take care of the coaches, the players, and the fans for the Mountaineers. Wilson Martino Dental. We love them. Country Roads Trust. West Virginia's name, image, and likeness team. Changing the game. And I mean changing the game for WVU student athletes. They're joining up with Team Wolfman for the Special Olympics West Virginia. That's Country Roads, all right, is teaming up. And Parmar Stores as well on Team Wolfman for Special Olympics West Virginia. February 25th, you can join. Go to my site. You can get on the GoFundMe. You can give to Special Olympics West Virginia. It doesn't matter who you get to because all the money goes to one place. And, of course, we have Arson Grange Company, our new sponsor, which sponsors all the other shows, but they are now. So Arson Grange Company. Hey, no nicotine, no tobacco, man. The best of it's 100% hemp in a hemp pouch. 100% hemp pouch. You know that thing? I go ahead, man. I take one out, man. I got a thing here. There's no nicotine. There's no tobacco, man. It's right there. You know what I mean? That's what I do. Yeah, I'm just stalling because Kearney went blank there on the back. So I'm out here. But Arson Grange Company. Hey, and if you go to shop wolfman.com or wolfmandip.com, wolfmandip.com, you can go ahead and get yourself stuff because there's no nicotine, no tobacco. Arson Grange Company. Switch to hemp. Just a dip, baby. All right.
What is it, Dale? Is it like lip balm or something?
No, man, it's like it replaces chewing tobacco. No nicotine. No. Hey, if you want to try to give up nicotine tobacco, if you want to get healthy, man, you get on this stuff. And it's at all Parmar stores. So it's there. You can either get wolfmandip.com, shop arsongrange.com, or at your local Parmar stores because you know they keep growing.
Hey, Dale.
Yes, sir.
Who is Miss Randall?
That is my mother. And it's, what is she saying? I don't really mention the rules. Oh, all right, Hoopy. We love you very much.
Yeah, we love you. We love you, moms.
All right, we're ready to go. Let's go and move on now to the Baylor Bears. And let me get this up here. I got this cool visual, and this gives you their numbers so you can remember. Because DP, you're as bad as I am on the names when it comes to them. And get it up there. And unless it's Marquise Knowles, that's the only one I think you know up there. But it's all good stuff, man. Just check it out. What do you see here, Tim Kearney? I'm going to start with you. Did you go find a red cup, Tim?
No, I went through the stats before with Baylor, but
all right, here we go. Look at the stats here. Tell us what you want to say about this team.
Well, if our guards don't match up with their guards, we're screwed.
Okay.
Obviously, I mean, from penetration and their 3-point range, I mean, it's going to be a defensive battle when it comes to guards.
Okay. What do you say there, Jimmy?
Well, I mean, you've got a great combination of guards with George and Cryer and Flagler's coming off a huge game on Saturday. The other thing that I think beyond the guards is Flo Thamba. He's long, huge wingspan, and he played in an NCAA championship, and that's so they have a great mixture of experience, good experience, and they can put points on the board. So I mean, it's not just their guards; they got some bigs that can play too. So it's gonna take an effort.
Well, that's for sure. Go ahead, DPs. I put this up here. Let my mom get some pub time. All right, but go ahead, man.
I mean, they just like Eddie said, the guard play is great. Like even Thamba, he doesn't average a lot of points, but he averages 6, which is good. He's only playing 22 minutes, but Bridges is almost averaging double figures. You know what I mean? So then you got the guys coming off the bench. You got Love coming off the bench, averages 7. Dale Bonner, Lunar. All of them averaging 5 points a game. That's not bad from the bench. I don't think we have that besides one guy or two guys that's coming off the bench that's scoring. And, and these guys that start can really score, and they're at home, So, they're coming off a good game on Saturday. the emotions are going to be high, and they're going to be in rhythm. They're going to be feeling really good about themselves.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
And Darryl, you brought up a good point. Jalen Bridges, I think he's gonna try to come out and prove a point. We'll see how he reacts as far as coming from West Virginia down there. But like I said, Jalen Bridges, he could be a wildfire on this game as well.
Yes, he could be, and he might darn well try to be, knowing JB when it comes to the Mountaineers. But nobody's talked yet about Keontae George. And this guard, I think he had 32 points against the Mountaineers last game, did he not? And, I think you have to go ahead and say, who do you put on him? Is this for Kearney right here? Is Kearney got to stop him? Who's going to guard him? Is it Emmett?
I think it has to be Emmett. I mean, because who's going to guard Cryer? You know what I mean? So,
or Flagler, right? Flagler just had the 28.
Or Flagler, So, and Cryer is a smaller guard, so they probably going to put Kearney on him. And it was going to be between Stevenson and Matthews to guard the other two guys. Keontae George is a freshman, like we talked about. You know what I mean? These guys can play. You know what I mean? They can play. They can put it up. And then the seniors, they've been around. You know what I mean? And so it's not going to be an easy game. It's going to be very hard, grinded out game. When we don't come up with energy, it's going to be it's going to not look well for us.
All right, Tim. What do you say about that? What do you think? Are you putting Emmett up there against Keontae George? He had 32 points now. Remember that last game against the Mountaineers, he had 32 points. And that, to me, that's a big deal. So to me, that becomes the number one guy to stop.
Yeah, well, like you said, I've said this all along, and that's about our, strength off the bench, with Desant and Wilson, and, obviously we're going to get in some foul trouble. As far as Eric, he's going to get in foul trouble. Yet that's what he does. I mean, but at the same time, if he lights it up, he lights it up. But at the same time, we got to have the strength off the bench with the guards, between Wilson and Desant. I think that's going to be a big key factor in this game.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. All right, so Jimmy, let's move on to you here now. I'll point out, this is Flagler. He scored 16 straight points. They were down by TCU with 10 minutes left in the game, and they came back to win by 4, 72-68. Honestly, we all know what TCU is. We went 1-1 against them. They're a good quality team, but the Bears pulled it out.
Well, I think Kearney's going to have to step up, and I think it's going to be guards by committee. I don't know who we're going to see go up against who. I mean, you may see a rotation. There's no doubt, as well as their guards play, our guards, if they play the way they've been playing, a step behind, they're going to get in foul trouble. Eric's going to get in foul trouble, I fear. So I think it's going to be to say this is going to be the matchup for the game. I think it's going to be guards by committee. You're going to see 5 guards get playing time. You're going to have to.
Let me ask you this: for any one of you three, jump in. The Mountaineers, they got to do anything differently on defense to go ahead, like maybe a zone, whatever it might be, do something different other than trying to match up man to man, or is Hugs going to go straight man to man?
I still think that the 1-3-1, which West Virginia has, is a key to mix it up. I don't know how you all feel about that, but I mean, the trapping 1-3-1 kind of throws off the other team.
There's no doubt. I think you're right.
The only problem I have with that, you're doing it on their home floor. It's easier to see on your home floor than it is, if you're playing in the Coliseum. Yeah, you do that. Things look a little different, but I think,
DP, why is that? Why is that different?
It's just the home and away thing. I think I don't know if it's the colors in the background, the people in the stands, the noise. It's just the energy from the home crowd. Just like football, y'all play at home better than y'all do on the road for some reason, and it's the same. Some guys are more comfortable at home. It's just some guys don't care if you play at home or away, and I don't know if our guys have that comfortability of playing away. And this team is good. I mean, like, they're not frantic on offense. Like we are. We rush on offense. They got patience. They just take what's there, You leave them open, they can hit those shots. You know, I watched this game, and they were down by a lot. They just walked themselves right back into the game on the road. They just walked right back into the game. They didn't panic. They didn't get out of character. They just walked themselves right back into the game. Then all of a sudden, TCU started panicking. You know, and so they're a veteran team. That's how you want them veteran teams to play.
Well, you can see here when you look at this, when you got Keontae George, then you got Cryer right here when you're watching. Keontae George is a freshman, averaging 17, and and then you have, of course, Cryer. He's averaging 14, almost 15 points per game.
Flagger's averaging 16.
And he had 28 against DC. So, how do you go ahead and stop these guys if they get hot?
That's the problem. You don't have one guy. Like Stevenson has been our hot guy. So they try to slow him down. Now, that's when Matthews opened up a little bit. It's easy to shut down one. When you got 1, 2, and 3, that's kind of tough, because now who do you help off on? How do you help? You help with the big, they throw it up the top. So this is the thing where they got to they got to go over top of screens, make it difficult for these guys to score, be a little physical without fouling.
Well, good points. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, Darryl's right. And like I said, I'm hopeful for the game that we win, but I'm not confident we're going to win. Really, they've got a lot of talent. It depends on how our defense and offense is working. We'll see what happens. If we play like against Oklahoma, we can win the game. The guys they did everything right, but they got to do everything right against Baylor, and that's the bottom line.
All right, so the last video I'm going to show this evening, then, of course, is TCU attacking the Baylor in their defense. What are we going to see for the Baylor Bears primarily on defense, Darryl Prue?
I think they're going to play straight up man to man. They're going to tell you to beat us man to man. They're not going to do nothing else. They might run a press a little bit here and there. They might press us more because we're turning the ball over. So they might start double teaming, and I would double team. I would throw presses on us. I would do all kind of things to junk it up a little bit, because we will throw it to the other team. So that's what we will do. So I'm sure they watch the tape. They see what the guys' weaknesses are. They played against them the first time, and it's going to be a dogfight. If we don't come to play, we could beat Oklahoma by playing with energy. Can we beat a Baylor or a Texas just on energy? No, we got to be energy and effective play.
Both halves.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No,
Go ahead, Jimmy. Throw it out there. What you got?
Well, I think that the guys are exactly right. I think you're gonna see them play straight up man. They may gadget a little bit, but I think you're going to see straight up man from them. And you're just gonna have to play hard. You're gonna have to attack them. You're gonna have to fight through and play smart off of screens. You can't get caught, getting caught sleeping on offense or defense, and you can't have that run coming out of halftime where you go cold. If you're in the game at halftime, you've got to come out hard at halftime. You've just and I think we're going to play straight up man. You may see a little 1-3-1, but I think against what they're going to throw at us, the only chance we got is go man. I really do.
Okay, so all right, so we're going to go man. That's fine. What are we looking for? And I'm going to stay with you, Jimmy. So you can go ahead and tell me, what are we looking for on offense and how we're going to attack? Man on defense, are we trying to go more transition in these guys? Are we trying to run the floor? Are we trying to set up half court? What are we trying to do?
Well, I think you always want to try to run. I think you want to run and have transition. But if it's not there, back it out. You've got guys that can shoot. So back it out if the transition is not there. But you always need to look to attack it. I don't think we do that often enough. And then if you do attack and you do get the shot from 2 feet, you got to make it. You got to make that 2-foot shot.
Oh, now you're starting to sound like Huggins.
Yeah, I mean, you got to transition and you've got to attack the basket. I don't think we can get in a shooting contest with them. I don't.
Right. Well, that's probably a pretty good idea since, as I said, they don't have too many assists because it looks to me like they're a shooting team, although they will get into the paint. Tim Kearney, what are you doing, man? How are you trying to win this game out of Waco, Texas tonight?
No, I think Jim was right on a lot of counts as far as especially on the fast break side of it. We haven't in the past games done anything on transition that means anything. But at the same time, willing to back it off, like Jim said before. And, we just need to be smarter on our shot selection as well as, the guarding outside and like I said, as far as taking care of, defensive on the guards, we haven't done a very good job. And I think we've lost probably 2-3 games because of that. And I think we need to make better judgments on that as well. So we'll see what happens.
DP, let me ask you this. How important is Emmett Matthews to getting off to a fast start tonight?
I just want him to be consistent throughout the game. Fast start, slow start. I like just to be more consistent.
Okay, let me rephrase it. How important is it, though, to get him into be consistent, to get him into the game? If you look at this game and you see Iowa State, how many times did he cut to the basket? How many times? You didn't see that all season long as many times as he did. He did a great job. And I'm saying is now he's shooting a little better on Saturday. Maybe he can put it together because maybe he could be that X factor for the Mountaineers on the road to get over.
He needs to get pissed off.
Yeah, he need to do that. And somebody else need to step up and score. Like they have 16, 15, and 16. We need that too. And I think we can't sacrifice Stevenson's not scoring points than Matthews scoring points. You know what I mean? Like both of them can't score. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the problems. They talked about how to win this game. You can't get out in transition if you don't play defense. You don't get rebounds. You don't get steals. So it's going to be hard to get out and do that. I think Mitchell has to score in the paint. They're not that big besides the big fella. I think he has to score and make this game ugly. If this game is not ugly, we don't have a chance. I think when we talked about we didn't like games, it was brutal to watch. Those are the games where we're going to win for some reason. That's a huggy kind of game style play that we're used to. And I think that's the only way we can beat teams like this. We can't beat them like Jim said, going up and down court trying to shoot with them. No, that's not going to work. We either got to pound it, make it ugly, let them go to their bench, post those guards up. I don't see why Mitchell can't post one of those guards up. I mean, not Mitchell, but Matthews, and see if he can score down there. I think that we have to make this game ugly.
And Darryl was right too. First of all, a couple games ago that Matthews made a comment about he got pissed off. That's why he played so good. I mean, someone, and Darryl's laughing. Someone punched him in the back of the head before the game just to get him pissed off. And as far as Mitchell, Mitchell needs to step up. I mean, those two, they could rule the whole game.
Bottom line, you can't turn the ball over.
No, I agree with that.
Turn the ball over.
Doesn't that go without being said, though, right now? You can't. Every time you hit 20 turnovers, you're destined to lose, most likely.
You get 32 points. 32 points off of 20 turnovers. You're going to lose the game.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, then. Let's finish up here with this. Who is the most important cog in the offense tonight to win? Jim, start out.
Stop thinking, Jim.
You know what, Jim? See, that's the problem. But that's the problem right there because they're so inconsistent and there's so many different every night.
I missed the question. My internet dropped out.
That's a bunch of crap. That's crap. I don't believe you. All right. Who's the most important cog tonight to win? Who's your player
for West Virginia?
No, for Baylor.
I think Trey has got to step up and make something happen. I think he is. I think he's the guy that's got to do something tonight.
All right, Tim, what do you say?
Stevenson.
Stevenson?
Yep.
DP?
Mitchell. Can Mitchell please score 20 points?
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you this.
Please.
I think the best thing that was said tonight was that we have 15 fouls to give by the three beefs up there, the three bigs. You got 15 to go. I think you need to let Okonkwo play more. He gets double-doubles in 14 minutes. What can he do with 20 minutes? What can he do with 25? I don't know if he can handle that much, but I don't know. But I'll tell you what, if you're losing by 30, let's find out.
But that's what I said at the beginning of the year. You got to get out of that group, you got to get 10 to 15 points, 10 to 15 rebounds. And that's what I've been saying the whole time. That's out of those three.
You're right.
You got three guys to do that. That's cool. The guards, you got four guards. You got Wilson, Stevenson, Toussaint, and Johnson. But the problem is at the forward position, you only have two people. You only have Matthews and Mitchell. That's where the issues come in. It's nobody that makes them accountable. You know, you can, if Bell has a bad game, got O'Connell goes in, then Wagyu goes in, then they keep on doing the circle again. It's the same thing with Stevenson. If he starts to acting crazy, they put Wilson in. If Keedy Johnson started having a bad time, they put Toussaint in. But we don't have no replacements for those two guys. Nobody makes them accountable. You know, it's you know, it was almost like when I was at West Virginia. We played Bradley at Bradley, and it was a good game. Hershey Hawkins had 7 points in the first half. Hershey Hawkins had 7 points in the first half. Tyrone Shaw and Chris Brooks wanted to talk junk to him. I'm like, yo, leave that man alone. I'm like, leave him alone. He has 30 in the second half. He ended up with 37. You know, but we don't have guys like that. You know, we was arrogant. You know, we were crazy. We had challenged people. They would step up, but he took it to a whole nother level. And just like Tim said earlier, smack him in the back of his head so he can get mad and play at that level. You know what I mean?
You know what? Honestly, instead of smacking him in the back of the head, just say, hey, Keontae scored 32 the last time. The guy you're guarding. Was that you that was guarding him? I don't know. But that was he scored 32 points. If you want to get mad, throw that at him. I mean, seriously, get him all fired up and challenge him. Challenge him. And if he's not challenged, you take him out and say, I challenge you, and you didn't live up to it. And they say, I'm going to get you back in 5 minutes. You got one more chance. Challenge you. That's how I would handle it. And I would say, do it. And if you don't do it, then I say, okay, give me the youngins. Give me the young bloods, because at least we're going to get some minutes out of you, and we're going to get some experience. All right, fellas. Great job.
Sit your ass on the bench and get some young guys in there who are going to do the damn job.
When we had that streak, when we lost 6 games, Hug talked about all these freshmen that's on the bench that don't play, that's good. Like, you never play them, so how do we know? If they're so good, why don't you give them a chance? Because these other freshmen around who we playing against, they're playing. And, you know, I would have liked those guys that got those minutes earlier, you know, hey.
I understand.
Yeah, if they're not playing well, you put them in and you just take them out. You know, it's confusing to me.
I understand, but let's go ahead.
I'm over to the clock. These guys get their head out of their goddamn asses and play some damn basketball. Let's go.
Did somebody give him a solo cup?
Hey.
Somebody give him
no, there's no solo cup. I was pissed off on Saturday after that game. I swear to God, I was
Mark Parsons just said, the show is too clean. Need more cussing from Tim. You just got it, Mark.
Remember, my mother is watching right now. Okay, so
I'm sorry, Mama Wolf.
There we go. To end this all, Matthew Zervos, I put this up here, but Darryl, you guys just kept talking. All right. He says you would score 20 on follow-up shots. Is he talking about follow-up on your own or somebody else's?
I would have got 20. I would have got 20.
Yeah, but is that on your own follow-up shots?
Yeah, I'd have got it some kind of way. I would have rebounded.
Right.
I would have got it some kind of way.
All right, I believe that about you. Hey, Jamie Smalligan, thank you very much for coming on the show tonight. And I really appreciate it. Jim Smallridge, El Guru, El Manager.
Hey, Dale, yes. I got to ask Jim Smallridge, how did you like your first episode?
Oh, it was great.
Hey,
And it was like listening to you all over again.
Okay.
so Matthew was a Mountaineer man at West Virginia when I was there. He was one of the people that shoot the guns.
Yep.
All right. With that being said, gentlemen, I want to tell you something. It's good basketball knowledge being dropped on Mountaineer Nation. We thank you again. There's Jimmy Smallrace, it's Darryl Prue, and it's Tim Kearney with the K. We'll see you next time.
I kept it clean.
Thanks, Wolf.
Destined for greatness. My name is written in stars. And now I give everything, all that I have to the cause. Fight against evil, run through the pain, battle it all, this is more than a game. I am a lion and I can't be tamed, it's how it was made. This ice in my veins, run through it all. No matter the odds, I will answer a call. The enemy knocks on the door. Even the greatest among us will fall, but the greatest will get back up. So I won't back down and I won't give up, and I will act now and I will stand up. They know that I'm here for it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Parmar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Parmar Stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Parmar Stores, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wilson Martino Dental. Did you know that 95% of our dentists have graduated from WVU? And many former players and WVU coaches trust Wilson Martino Dental with their oral health. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that.